So, Batman and Superman. Hold on. I'm gonna close the door because it can get loud. So, anyways, talk about Batman and Superman. That was a film. Is it fucking raining outside? Oh no, I'm just hearing shit. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm going crazy. Anyways, let's talk about Batman and Superman. So before I went to see the movie, I gave my thoughts on Batman and Superman and Wonder Woman for the most part. And I actually don't. I'm not a huge fan of Batman and Superman because of what I think of their characters. But I also have a massive bias. I'm not that well informed because I haven't read enough of their books. So this is all like a very, very, very lame ass beginner's perspective going into the movie and everything. I wasn't a huge fan. I mean, I liked the cartoon versions. I liked the animated ones from the movies and the TV show. But from what I understood about them from the comics, I just wasn't a fan of how they handled them. I mean, I liked the Arkham games; those were cool. But there are still kind of a couple issues that I had with those characters. And now, after seeing the movie, and I've already seen Man of Steel, which when I came out, I remember, let's take a flashback to when I saw Man of Steel. So Man of Steel, when that first came out, I saw it on my, it was 2013. So I saw that about a month or two into college, my freshman year. And it's kind of weird to think about it because, you know, we luckily have access to a couple of screenings when movies they're not on DVD, but they're out of theater, so it's kind of that weird little gap period. But I sat there in like the second or third row. They were giving out prizes and shit for people that knew things just randomly. And I saw the movie, and I remember walking out, and, you know, it was a pretty big screen. It was a fair amount of people. It was like 20, 30 of us. And I remember leaving, I'm like, well, that happened. That happened. Now, I don't think that's a good way to feel about a Superman movie. And I'm familiar with the Donner films. I know for some people that's their iconic Superman. Mine was the animated universe one that met Static Shock. I really remember him from Superman Doomsday, but I digress. That when I left Man of Steel, I'm like, I had heard lots and lots of talk about it and lots of people's issues with it, and I agreed with some of them. There just weren't enough times when he was Superman, and the issues with his dad and everything, and just going into BVS, you know, for about 5 minutes, I wasn't okay with Ben Affleck as Batman when they made that announcement like 3 some odd years ago. And I'm like, what? Oh, we saw him in Daredevil and he sucked. And then I remembered, I'm like, wait a minute. He was in Dogma and Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back and fucking a bunch of other things. I'm like, his best friend is literally called the Fat Man of Batman. Or at least they were friends at some point. I don't know if they still talk. He bought his house. Da-da-da-da-da. But I'm just like, there's no way he could fuck this up. And luckily, he didn't. I really liked Ben Affleck in this movie. I thought he did a really, really good job as the new Batman. Is he the best? No. Is he the worst? Fuck no. First of all, the best is Kevin Conroy. Always an eternal. But he was damn good. I thought he got both Bruce Wayne and Batman handled very well. I liked the fight scenes with him. So I thought Batman was fine overall. Superman, I really want to like him. I do. For the way that DC is handling it, it's just, I didn't see any chemistry between him and Lois. I could tell where he was trying. There were moments in the movie where there was just like Superman legitimately being Superman, being compassionate, being caring. But I want more blue in his outfit. I want him to smile more. It's okay if DC wants to do kind of a more realistic, gritty version of the universe, but there's still things in the character, like when people complain about him being the Blue Boy Scout, when I complain about him being the Blue Boy Scout, there's a reason, because he's a good-natured person who, you know, helps out the little guy, who does the right thing, and those are things that I just was not seeing. One of the things that I thought was weird was about the killing controversies, and I do think in Man of Steel that goddamn people are having conversations while I'm trying to film a video, but just the way they were handled was kind of weird. At the beginning, there's no proof that he killed people. That one kind of, I felt weird because especially in the news, in the movie, it's like Superman killed people when he went on this da 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 da, and I'm like, well, we only saw him smash through one terrorist who had someone kidnapped, so I think that's almost fair game. Didn't have to kill him, but I don't know. I feel like Cavill can do a good job as Superman if he's led by the right person. And Wonder Woman, she was fine. My only issue with Wonder Woman, I think Gal Gadot did her thing. She looks the part. She had the action beats right. It was good. I thought she was fine. My only complaint about Gadot is I want more muscle definition on Wonder Woman. She's a warrior. She needs a little bit more guns, a little bit more power in her kicks, because she just seems really soft, like physically. But I just want a little bit more muscle definition for her protein shake. But otherwise, she was good. I thought she was good. She's a very, very attractive actress, so good on her. So we got the lead out of the way. Let's talk villains. Fuck Lex Luthor. I hated him. He was the most annoying little shit. Or Alexander Luthor Jr. Fucking bullshit. I didn't like him. I didn't like Lex at all. The way they handled his character, they made him really not scatterbrained, like really twitchy. And I legitimately thought while watching the film, like, does he have ADHD? And he really reminded me of Max Landis, who's a writer that I enjoy, mind you. But just the way they handled it, I'm just like, that's not the way to handle Lex Luthor. He did a couple things that, like, I started calling him Max Luthor. I'm like, that's not Lex. There's a moment or two where he did something that maybe Lex would do. Fucking throwing Lois off the thing, off the tower or whatever. I'm just like, okay, that might be something Lex would do. And tricking Superman, that's another thing Lex would do. But just like the way it was handled was still shitty. He's just a shitty actor. Shitty performance, should I say. Jesse Eisenberg can be good. I've seen him be good, but he was not the one to play Lex Luthor in this movie. And this is not the way to handle that character. One of my friends went to see it today, and her initial response was, "Why does Lex Luthor have hair? This is a disappointment." And I was laughing because the shit was just so funny to me. But also, Mercy Graves was in there for no reason. She was in there strictly to die. She had like 5 lines. They took one of the women from X-Men Wolverine, and then she just blew up in the Capitol with a bunch of other people, as well as that senator. This is still a weird scene. I mean, the way the movie is shot looks good. See the explosion kind of erupt around Superman as nothing happens, but just, I kind of like the senator character. I thought she was interesting. She could have, posed a government position, just like who's pro-Superman. That could have been an interesting plot point in like other films with the Justice League. But no, just blow them up. And the whole jar piss thing. I know a lot of people are pissed about it, but I'm like, in context, it makes sense. But again, it's based off a shitty line from a shitty iteration of a character. So what are you going to do? And it happened. I'm like, well, all right, fuck. There go 2 interesting characters. It could have been interesting characters. They're gone now. So that happened. Doomsday. They got the destructive aspect right. I actually had to go back and rewatch Death of Superman today, and I might watch Max Landis' video because I just think it's really fucking entertaining, but fucking Doomsday. I mean, yeah, they got it. He was destructive. He blew things up. He caused shockwaves, and he fought Superman. And it was all right. I'm still kind of nitpicky about his design. I kind of prefer the 90s fucking Spike SpongeBall shit with the fucked up bald long gray hair and the mangly teeth, Joe. They're like this and that. But I much would have rather it had that. But what are you gonna do? The way they explained it, I'm disappointed that they went with the Doomsday gene route. It's like, oh, it's a hidden gene in all Kryptonians. I'm like, this is bullshit. He couldn't just be some motherfucker that you found in a rock, or he came from space and was just angry. Anything with I think the gene thing can work for comics, but it was so soon. I was like, it is what it is. It was like just a lot of the issues with this movie have to actually, before we get to that, the cameos, which is basically, it was literally click open Justice League for the cameos. Like, Wonder Woman just, Flash, Aquaman, Cyborg, subtlety. Where is it? What even is that? But just the Flash's first show up, it was weird, kind of random. I guess it's an allusion to Darkseid coming in the future. Neat. It was, I don't know, they gave him a vision in a dream. That was weird. I don't know why they CGI'd Ezra Miller for that one part specifically when they have the suit, because we've seen photos of Snyder, like, in the office, and in the back you can see Flash suit and the Aquaman suit, like, behind him. It's like, there's no point in CGIing that scene. It was really random. You could have CGI'd the effects around him. I don't know why they blurred it out. It's just like, dude, it's the Flash. It's the fucking Flash. Who else would it be? I don't know when the Speed Force can transcend into visions and dreams and shit, but apparently that's a thing it can do now. Alright. I don't like the suit either. But whatever, you can't change it now, unless they change between now and like 2019, or 2018, whatever. But I didn't like the first Flash cameo. The other ones I think they worked. I think it would have been better if they put it more at the end of the movie. Honestly, you could have edited it and put it at the end. It wouldn't change a damn thing, really. And you just change a couple parts around. But, I mean, they were super on the nose. Like, those weren't even cameos. I mean, those weren't even, like, hints or allusions. Those were straight up, like, full cameos. Like, oh yeah, Flash. Like, fucking Drogo just looked right into the camera. Just, stand. Alright. What is subtlety? What is subtlety? I think they should have been more subtle, but that's just me. So, just the overall negatives of the movie. I fucking hated Lex. Lois, I realized that Amy Adams actually kind of looks like Amy Schumer while watching this movie. I don't think she had any chemistry with the dude with Cavill. I don't think they have any at all. It's just really forced. None of it really feels even close to natural. I'm also not a fan of the red hair. That's just another nitpick. I prefer my Lois Lane with black hair, like the shows, but whatever. It's just a nitpick. Doomsday was, yeah, he was fine. I don't like that they did the Jean thing. What the fuck is this? Sorry, I had to legitimately do my job. Anyways, the fuck? I'm also on someone's Instagram. But, yeah, no, there were negatives. A lot of my issues with this film, just writing. Oh, this could have been handled well. I don't want Snyder and Terrio doing Justice League after this movie. Because, mind you, I'll give you my rating at the end. I'm giving one of the higher ratings as far as this film goes. Because there are a lot of things that I liked about it, but they were like 50-50 battling with the issues I had with it. Like, what I didn't like was just, most of it wasn't with the mains, which I think is what's saving it right now. But the editing was kind of choppy. They tried to do, my biggest issue, they tried to do way too much. You tried to do Death of Superman, Dark Knight Returns, in a way, and the creation and rise of the Justice League, all in the same film. And I'm sure there's a couple other nods to things in there that I'm not thinking of or not catching or whatever right now because it's fucking 2 a.m. But that was the real issue with me. It's just like, it's so densely packed and it's not well done. It's not fluid. Watching this movie, I thought it was in thirds. It was, yeah, it's like there's a first section, there's a second section, there's a third section. The third section was like where all the battles happened. Oh, another thing I didn't like, the setup for why Batman and Superman were fighting. I don't like the fact that this film really is Dawn of Justice. It was fucking It really was Dawn of Justice. Like the Dawn of the Justice League. And I'm not okay with that, because if you have a movie titled Batman v Superman, the fight should last longer than 10 minutes. The fight, if you want to handle it how I probably would have handled it, is like you establish a battle of ideologies, which they kind of did. They touched on it in aspects. And then you have a legitimate reason to fight. Don't have a ploy of one villain just forcing the other one to do it. Oddly enough, that was one of the few times I saw Cavill as Superman, was when he tried to be compassionate and talk to Bruce. But fucking Mike's like, I'll do your mother in, and then how the fight ended, it's like, oh, our moms share the same name. Yeah, that's a good reason to stop. The reason it should have stopped would have been like, Doomsday's attacking the city. We have to save people. Call a truce. Be men. Handle your shit. Be adults. But no, the execution was... yikes, this movie's starting to fall, too. I saw people that went in loving it, and they've fallen down. I saw it go from a 9 to like a 2 in one of my friends' reviews over at Hybrid. It was bad. But, so I don't sound like a bitch for the entire thing. There were things I liked. Like, I enjoyed Wonder Woman. I enjoyed Batman. I thought the fights were well choreographed. For the most part, the effects were fine. There was one scene when Doomsday threw Superman, and it was one of the ugliest, CGI effects I've ever seen. I'm like, bro, what the fuck was that? That filth you're showing me. But, I don't mind Batman suits. I think Wonder Woman looks fine, except for that one minor nitpick. God, what else good do I have to say about this movie? Oh, the shooting. The shooting was well. The cinematography for it was very good. The set pieces were good. I liked seeing Batman fight. I could use more joy in Superman, but I liked that he was trying in some places. I could see where he tried. He was good whenever he was trying. He was. God, what was good in this movie? Yikes. Wow, in retrospect, it's not a lot. I see why people are upset about it. What else good do I have to say about this movie? Besides effect, 3 leads. I'm really struggling here. I didn't list these out. I'm just doing this shit on the fly. Oh, yikes. What else worked? Honestly, wow. Yeah, the bad really outweighs the good here, but I'm carrying a lot of lore. It takes a lot for me to call a movie bad. Abysmal bad, fan-forced bad as far as superhero movies go. You could at least be entertained by, Steel. You can't even be entertained by fan-forced. What I initially gave the movie was, a very, very generous 7.9. That's probably down to, a 7.3 or 7.5 now. I want to rewatch the movie. The way the way some of the things were shot was good. The Omega symbol and the parademons coming in during the dream sequence, that wasn't bad. But then it goes to then you have to the way it looked and showing the dirty fight of them fighting just grim and punching and shit. Those were good. Just fighting was good. Batman and Wonder Woman were good. Superman was good in parts. Their interaction had tension sometimes, but it just tried to do way too much. Wow, yeah. This is a bad movie. Jesus Christ. I hope Suicide Squad does well, because Harley is legitimately one of my favorite DC character. She's the only character in DC who I keep up with her series for the most part now, and I have been, I think since her New 52 reboot, I've been keeping up with it. I need to read a lot of her old 52 stuff. I remember her from the animated series, so I know what she's supposed to be like. Yeah, this was, wow, in retrospect, this is not a good movie. And here's the thing that I'm always seeing. Everyone wants to like this movie. A lot of people, I know a couple people that have been ragging on this shit since since a couple months into production, and just that's annoying. But I know people that legitimate fans that really wanted to like this movie. They want to like it, but there's so much done wrong with it, and a lot of it for me is chalked up to the writing and the way it was handled. they just, when I was telling about it, I'm like, this was the hand job of superhero films. It was like Snyder just jerked you off, let you come real quick, and then it's just like, I love you and I want to take you to the next level. With the Justice League, it's like, slow down. You're trying to do way too much, way too fast, way too soon. Just have fun with it. I mean, tell the stories that you want to tell, establish the characters you want to establish and do all that, but enjoy yourself. You're fucking superheroes. He kind of seems to be having fun, but don't let your business overshadow it too much. Like when you write, I know you're writing for a general audience who kind of knows these characters, but you're also writing for a crowd of established fans for like 50 plus years of characters and the way they expect them to be. Now, I know you can't please everybody, but just like, give a shit. Like, I know you have a vision for it and a direction that you want to take it, but you got to consider who you're appealing to. You're appealing to a long lot of fans. Like, Iron Man going in, Superman and Batman and Spider-Man are 3 of the most popular characters ever made in superhero comics. Like, Iron Man worked his way to fame. Hulk kind of worked his way to fame. Basically, the majority of the Avengers worked their way to fame through those new movies. Batman and Superman, especially, they've had movies and TV shows and things a lot, I want to say a solid decade or so longer than the rest of those characters. Or at least a couple years. And you're playing with fire. And right now, it looks like you're getting fucking burnt. But I hope Wonder Woman is good. And I hope Suicide Squad is good. Even still, I'm putting this movie in the 7 range because I gave Man of Steel like a 6. I want to rewatch it, see if there's anything else good that I can say about it. Because right now, me and most people have a lot more negatives than positive, but I still throw it in the 7 range, somewhere between 7 and 7.6 out of 10. Otherwise, yeah, we can do better. So let's do better. Peace.